for decades, society has basically treated your brain like it's broken.
Right, like there's something fundamentally wrong with it.
Exactly. But what if the things you've been criticized for, distraction, impulsivity, panic, are actually high-level evolutionary advantages? Welcome to your custom deep dive. Today we're pulling apart excerpts from the Superpower frequency, embracing your neurodivergent edge.
And our mission here is really to dismantle that exhausting myth that ADHD is just a deficit.
Yeah, think about it like this. If traditional schools and, corporate jobs broadcast on a standard AM radio station, so predictable, steady, linear.
The AM dial, right?
Right. Then the ADHD brain is an FM receiver. You are picking up this vibrant, high-definition set of completely different signals. And for years, people have just been telling you your radio is busted.
Which is so frustrating. But the shift in perspective from this source really changes everything, because instead of viewing that FM dial as a hurdle to manage, we're decoding the mechanics of how this unique frequency actually generates high-level skills.
Assuming you understand how to tune it, of course.
Exactly, provided you know how to tune it.
So let's get into those mechanics. Because it's easy to say distraction is a superpower, but the book specifically highlights traits like crisis calm. And I have to push back a bit here.
Okay, go for it.
Well, we are constantly warned about the dangers of losing focus, right? So how does a brain that, struggles to concentrate on a simple spreadsheet suddenly become this evolutionary advantage when everything is literally on fire?
Well, it really comes down to dopamine.
Right, the reward chemical.
Exactly. The ADHD brain is chronically understimulated. So everyday routine tasks, like that spreadsheet you mentioned, they simply don't provide enough dopamine to fully engage the brain's executive functions.
It's just too boring for the brain to lock in.
Pretty much, yeah. But when a genuine emergency hits, your brain gets flooded with this sudden, massive rush of dopamine and adrenaline.
Oh.
Yeah, and physiologically, that chemical spike acts as a powerful clarifier. While a neurotypical brain might, become overwhelmed by that sudden stress and freeze up.
The ADHD brain finally gets the fuel it needs.
Exactly. It kicks into high gear, allowing for clear, decisive action.
So you are literally chemically optimized for chaos. Just think about that for a second. Have you ever noticed yourself springing into clear-headed action during a high-pressure emergency while everyone else around you just completely shuts down?
It's wild, but that is your brain functioning exactly as it was built to do. And that same chemical mechanism actually drives hyperfocus too.
Wait, really? The same mechanism?
Yeah. When a topic naturally fascinates you, it supplies a steady stream of dopamine that allows you to completely tune out the world and master complex subjects at astonishing speeds. But, this wiring shapes daily emotional intelligence, too, particularly through what gets labeled as sensory overload.
Right, sensory overload. I've always pictured that like having a massive satellite dish bolted to your roof, it catches absolutely everything, like every background conversation, every shift in tone, every single flickering fluorescent light.
Which sounds completely exhausting.
Totally. It sounds like a nightmare, not an advantage.
Well, it is exhausting if you don't know how to filter it. But the hidden advantage lies in how your brain processes all that influx. You aren't just taking in useless noise.
So what are you taking in?
You're absorbing massive granular data nets about your environment. Because you're constantly scanning, your subconscious gets incredibly fast at identifying anomalies and trends in that data.
Oh, so it's not just overload. It fundamentally translates into heightened pattern recognition.
Exactly. It's why you can walk into a room, instantly read the emotional baseline, and just anticipate a shift in the mood long before anyone else even notices a problem.
Okay, spotting data patterns early is undeniably useful. I get that. But the source also tries to rebrand impulsivity as the spark of spontaneity. I struggle to buy that one, honestly.
Why is that?
Because impulsivity leads to, reckless financial decisions or blurting things out in important meetings. How is a lack of a filter a hidden strength?
Because spontaneity and impulsivity share the exact same cognitive root. It's a high tolerance for risk and a really low barrier to action.
Okay, but it's still risky.
Unmanaged, yes, it's absolutely a liability. But channeled correctly, it is the engine of nonlinear thinking. You aren't walking down the predictable path. Your mind connects totally unrelated concepts because it doesn't pause to overly censor weird ideas.
You take leaps.
Exactly, you take leaps.
which perfectly explains where these minds actually thrive.
Yeah.
Like if your brain is wired for high risk, rapid pattern recognition, and intense hyper-focus,
You are custom built for entrepreneurship.
right, where pivoting without a safety net is literally a daily requirement.
Or the arts.
So leveraging that nonlinear creativity. Even STEM fields,
Yeah.
right? Using hyperfocus to crack complex software architecture. But, this raises a glaring structural question for me. If the entrepreneurial and tech world so heavily reward this out-of-the-box energy, are traditional, rigid 9-to-5 environments actually actively stifling our best innovators?
Without a doubt. I mean, the conventional workday demands consistent low-level output, the AM signal,
That's
basically.
back to the radio analogy.
Yeah, it punishes the very mechanisms that allow the neurodivergent brain to innovate. Navigating that neurotypical world builds immense resilience. But to truly excel, you have to stop trying to force an FM receiver to play AM static.
So the core takeaway from our deep dive today is that you need to stop trying to be normal. Your exceptional energy isn't a defect at all.
Not at all.
Mhm.
The goal is to build community support networks and find systems that keep you on track without crushing your natural momentum.
Right.
It requires deliberately designing a life that leverages your hyperfocus and intuition rather than constantly apologizing for how your mind operates.
Keep that satellite dish aimed high, right? Let's leave you with this final thought to ponder. As our world becomes increasingly unpredictable, moving faster every single day, and completely reliant on rapid, out-of-the-box innovation.
It makes you wonder.
Yeah, will the neurodivergent edge eventually be recognized not just as a different frequency, but as the essential cognitive baseline for the future?